I'm just going to show you how to use your visualizer through a Google Meet meeting. So this might be because you want to do a virtual staff meeting and you want to share things under your visualizer. It might be because you're doing some hybrid learning. You might even want to be kind of sharing to some children who are at home while you're live teaching in the lesson, and using your visualizer can help you to show all the different resources so they don't miss anything. Or you might be at home and beaming into your classroom. You can see I've turned the microphone off within Google Meet because I'm recording my Google Meet from another piece of software, so apologies if that keeps popping up. But I'm just wanting to be able to show you all the different controls within Google Meet that you will need to be able to share your visualizer through it for any kind of live teaching, and also any kind of recorded sessions where you want to record yourself using the visualizer and then share it as an asynchronous resource. So there are two different ways to share. In Google Meet, one of them is quite difficult with a visualizer. It's possible, but it really depends on what you're going to be doing. So I'm going to click on the three dots down here at the bottom next to my hang up. These might be in a slightly different place if you're using the Google app rather than through the browser as I am. So I click on the three dots and I go to settings. And one thing I can do is go to video. And your computer essentially treats the visualizer as another camera. So where it's got my camera as my FaceTime HD camera, I can switch it to PC cam, which is my visualizer. And then it will turn my view. So when people are looking at me, what they're actually going to see is my visualizer. Now you'll see the problem here is that what it's done is it's mirrored my video. Unfortunately in Meet, there isn't a way yet that I know of being able to mirror that and unmirror it rather, because what it's doing is it's mirroring the view that it sees around. So I've written 2 out of 2 here and 4 out of 4. So if you're doing any writing on the visualizer, this isn't going to be very helpful to do it this way through Meet, unfortunately. In Teams and in Zoom you can switch the mirroring off, so that's a bit easier. But if you were just sharing a resource that didn't matter if it was mirrored, then you can do it. But if you're sharing any writing or anything like that, then it is going to switch it around. So not the most useful way, that one, in Meet, but it's there anyway, just in case it's useful for if you're sharing an experiment or something like that. It's probably not as troublesome than if you're sharing writing. So I'm just going to go back to me. And then what I'm going to do this time is share the other way that you can share, which is through the actual software window itself. So I've opened my visualizer software. If you don't have the software for your visualizer, it should have come with a disk or it should be online to download, because they are usually got some useful functionality within the software. But if not, your computer will have somewhere a way that you can go into your devices, double click on the visualizer, and you should be able to just open it as a view of whatever your camera is seeing. So you can open it there if you don't have kind of the official software for your visualizer. And then if I go to presenting, so the present now button here, the kind of the rectangle with the arrow up, and click there, I can either choose my entire screen, which is really useful if you're going between different things. So if you're going to show your visualizer for a bit and then go to a PowerPoint for it and then back to visualizer and so on, that's really useful. So you can just share your screen, but just be aware not to then pull up your private emails at the same time on the call. Or you can share a particular window or a tab. So for this one, if I click on the windows, it should give me my Explode View option. So my Explode View is my visualizer software. So I'm just going to click on that and share. And this way you're getting a view of my software, which I'll just move down because it's cutting off some buttons there. But there you can see my software view and you can see what I'm seeing in my visualizer. I can also go into my previous shots of, camera shots of what I've taken on the visualizer before. And at the bottom right, I can full screen that for people to see just the visualizer view if I don't want them to see kind of all the software stuff around. So that is within Meet particularly. The best way to share your visualizer is sharing the window itself of your visualizer software, or sharing your desktop and going between your software and whatever else that you're going to be sharing. Otherwise, as I say, if you use your camera view, it's going to mirror it in a way that makes it very unhelpful for any writing. but they've just changed that setting on Microsoft Teams, and Zoom have had it for a while, so hopefully Google Meet will change that at some point, and that becomes another option then, is to just share it as if it's your camera, and that way you don't have to be on screen as well if you want to make a video shared outside of your school, for example. But for now, if you just share your visualizer through the share screen, and you can always cut out anything else later on if you're making an asynchronous video. But that's how to share your visualizer through Google Meet. There are also videos on how to use your visualizer in maths, for lots of ideas for maths, ideas for English in another video, and there's another video which talks about using your visualizer and general tips and across the curriculum ideas as well. Thank you very much for listening.